Week 3 of Try July at Sportsbet's loving seeing these celebrations, the players getting behind their campaign to support the Australian Skin Cancer Foundation and the players' hardship fund. We saw a couple of beauties tonight in the Sharks win and the Panthers getting the result over the Rabbitohs. Cooper Cronk, what's been your favourite, or what stands as your favourite try celebration?
There's a couple of good ones today, but I still think Gregory's backflip for the kangaroos in France is the best try celebration I've ever seen.
Oh, we need to cue it up. Do we have it?
Stop it.
I was there for that one.
Was it good? It was pretty good.
Amazing, yeah. Amazing scenes.
No one can do that. Yeah, Reece can do it.
Reece did.
I still
Kevy,
like, I still like Greg's.
Yeah,
It's my
still up there with the best. Kevy, did you ever have a try celebration in you?
I don't think I scored a try, to be honest. No. I love the idea, though. And some of the players have been very imaginative. That was the rocking baby there one. That was a good one. There's been plenty over the time. So, I just enjoy watching particularly when they score, and then the celebration this month. It's great to watch.
Yeah. Well, the Sharks, they were up in Cronulla tonight. An impressive result against the Roosters, who they've traditionally of late found a really hard team to get the result over, and it importantly puts them back in the top 8. Our smart play of the day brought to you by Complete Home Filtration, and it had to go to their smarting dummy half, who was Blake Brayley, everywhere tonight.
Yeah, he's very good. I thought once the markers were disconnected, the Roosters, it was Brayley, the best player on the field. He had that offload for William Kennedy's try, and this was the play of the first half. Straight through, very quick, smart. Good play back to the inside here of Nico Hines. And at different stages, Brandy, when he was at dummy half, he was causing chaos.
It certainly helps the Sharks' attack, doesn't it, when there's another focal point, and he's become that over the last couple of weeks. He was very good against the Dolphins, ran early and got them on the back foot, and he did that again tonight. Yeah, very, very good.
The back page of the Daily Telegraph, sorry, Brandy. Fast Blake runs right in Shark attack. And, Kevin, we've been looking for, I guess, another level from the Sharks attack. Have they finally unlocked it with this guy? Yeah,
they have, certainly have. And I like the way they push up with him now. He's been doing this for about a month. But the rest of the Cronulla players were back and not anticipating when he was going to run. So they've worked on that, obviously, at training, and they've flooded the middle of the field on those quick play the balls. Now there's lots of support coming through. We saw the try there from Nico Hines, just pure support through the middle. So, and it's hard to stop that. Once that gets moving, and you've got guys like Adam Fanua-Blake, he can create quick play the balls. It's a good ploy for the Sharks to just rush the middle of the ruck defence, and they've got some good results recently on the back of that.
And while he was great, there were some terrific plays with the ball. Teague Wilton again, they lost Britton Nickera pretty early in the match, and Teague Wilton became, that left side go-to, scored a good try. I thought that period in the second half, don't forget, Tedesco scored late in the first half to make it 20-12. Crichton scored early in the second half to make it 20-18. The Roosters then had a lot of ball after a couple of errors. Katoa dropped the ball, Kennedy dropped the ball. There was a period there where the Roosters had the ball on the Sharks' line. They were able to hold them out. And then when they required a try, Billy Burns, they went up the other end, they scored. Billy Burns scored. They did the same thing again. They held the Roosters out, kept them scoreless, and then scored another try just to separate them and win the game comfortably.
Not too different to what we saw them do against the Dolphins the week before.
Pretty good.
Farnworth had them coming home strong, and then they scored a couple of tries late. This one a bit more convincing.
Well, Toby might have saved the day.
Exactly.
Because that was getting pretty tight.
Hairy.
That was getting pretty tight. But then they scored a couple of late tries.
Right. All right, let's head back. Let's hear from the Sharks coach from earlier tonight at the press conference.
Yeah, obviously he's been our player of the year the last 2 years, so we feel like he's consistent, but it's nice that he's getting some acknowledgement, and probably the most important thing is what he's doing for our halves. I think he's actually, the spine is starting to organise and get that better. I just think he's underestimated, has been, and now all of a sudden people are onto it. Like, we've been playing far stronger footy in the last couple of years and no one's noticed him, so we haven't been playing that good the last 6 weeks and everyone's talking about Blake, so it doesn't make sense to me in that way. But I've got to say, he's obviously stepping up and he's added to his game, that's for sure. I think that's it'd be a nice compliment for a kid that's busted his backside for 120 games straight and then now getting some recognition, but he's a good kid.
You know who looks like they've busted their backside? that guy next to him, Cam McInnes.
He does every day. Every game he plays, he
But
busts.
the cut-off singlet, it looks like a little bit worse for wear.
Well, that's why he's the captain, right?
Yeah.
Because Craig Fitzgibbon played that type of style when he was a player. And Cam McInnes, there's a lot of flair with Kennedy, Hines and Brayley today, but he is the glue. He is the absolute pro that they set everything around, and he is the reason why he puts his head where I wouldn't put my feet, and that's why he's a captain of that football club.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous player that doesn't get a lot of accolades, but again, he's the glue, and there's other players that play their role.
In the trenches. So that's the first time since round 11 the Sharks have registered back-to-back wins. Put it to Brandy straight after the game. I'll ask you, Kevy, where does that put them now on the run towards finals?
Yeah, very impressive. Back-to-back wins against quality opposition. The Dolphins have been winning and playing some good football, and also, you know, tonight's win sort of pushes them ahead of the Roosters. I had the Roosters winning that game tonight, but obviously I got it wrong. I think Coop's you with me as well. Brandy, you sort of nailed it at the start of the game. They're very good, and they did good things in games when they had to, and you know, come up with the right plays at the right time, the right defensive attitude as well. So it was a really strong performance, and I can see them pushing forward now, maybe, you know, even a little bit higher on the ladder. If they can string a couple of wins together, we've seen how that can increase your chances and you can gain momentum very quickly.
Something had to change with the Sharks. Like that period where Fitzy was talking about, no one was playing well. Like individually, they weren't playing well. They weren't playing well as a team. They lost some games like the Roosters 6 weeks ago.
That game derailed them for a while. It took them a long time to get over it.
The Warriors pumped them at home. You know, and this is the Origin period where they had no Origin players. So but they did have a tough draw too. They played the Storm, and the Storm beat them comfortably. But they've turned the corner and gone back to the sort of form that they were displaying in the first 8 rounds of the Premiership.
Yeah.
I think they stood up to the Storm there in Melbourne, and the last sort of 10 minutes, Katoa picked up a couple of tries from those kicks. And, so that was probably their best performance.
Even though the scoreline didn't look good.
Yeah, and he said that in one of his pressers, that this was better than what, you know, we're giving credit for.
Yeah.
We can build on this, and that's when they started to get on their little bit of a 2-winning run.
And someone who was key to all of that was our VB hardest working player, and he spoke with Jake Duke.
Joined by the milestone man, Adam Fanua-Blake, game 200 in the NRL. Congratulations. How did that feel?
It felt surreal, pretty surreal. Pretty lucky to get a few games on the board and to get 200, and it's a credit to not just myself but my family. You know, they ride the roller coaster with me, and they helped me get to here and achieve everything I have along the way.
What was it like? I know you've got a big fan group here, and you walked out with your kids as well. How was that?
It's pretty emotional. It's these sort of things that when it's all said and done, I look back. Hopefully my kids can be pretty proud of their dad. What I'm doing now is not just for myself, but it's for them as well. So hopefully they're proud of me.
Just finally on the performance of the Sharks tonight, 2 in a row.
Yep.
You've got some winnable games on the back end of the season. How are you feeling about where you're at the moment?
Yeah, look, it's no secret. We've had a pretty up and down season. But we've gone with the approach. We're just going to take it one game at a time. We knew Roosters were in a purple patch, and we're going to have to aim up to try and get the win tonight. And we can't look too far ahead. Like I said, we looked at Roosters like it was our grand final, and we come out tonight and put a performance in, and we're going to have to do the same thing again next week against us.
All right, Adam, congratulations. Go and enjoy the milestone.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, a memorable night for Adam Fanua-Blake in game 200, leading from the front, ever consistent for the Sharks.